Hello everybody, and welcome back to day 2 of the 50,000 subscriber special. Today I am playing Sinking Simulator 2, a game that actually came out a month ago, but I've been waiting to get around for it so I could celebrate it on my 50,000 subscriber special, because I know you guys would really appreciate me playing this game. You've been asking and telling me that it's been updated for a long time, and yes, I'm finally going to be getting around to it. It actually was supposed to debut here at my 50,000 subscriber special, but some stuff with the developer didn't work out, and it ended up being released to some other YouTube channels first, which, kind of led to a more public release, and I sort of just put it off until now, because, I stay true to my word. I said I'd do it on 50K, and you know what? I'm doing it on 50K. So thank you guys for sticking with us. I mean, Dodge the Mall is essentially becoming the White Castle of YouTube. I mean, you can pretty much say that our food is terrible and that it's bad for you. However, for some reason, when you eat it in a box of 30, it actually is seemingly good, and you kind of want more afterwards. In perspective, that's about 4,000 calories. So before we continue, let's begin to spawn in some ships and show you some of the new features that are included in Sinking Simulator 2. Well, as you'll see right here, now when we are going to spawn in a ship, we can actually see a little bit of a shadow of what the ship is going to look like when we spawn it into the game. So here we have the Unsinkable 2, and I can put it up here, I can put it down under the water, or we can put it at the perfect level right off the bat. Look at that. That is fantastic, and it's a feature that we've probably needed for a very long time. And Fred, our loyal developer who found this game through our YouTube channel, has finally added it to the game. And he's also toting that version 2.1 of this game is going to be absolutely fantastic, and there's going to be like fire and explosives and stuff. No promises on that, I mean, Fred will do what you guys ask him to. If you post about 3,000 comments saying, "Hey, Fred, add fire to the game now," he might actually get around to doing that. So it's fun. It's fun for everyone, and I think that it's a very good idea for you guys to really get involved with this game's production process. But what has changed about the sinking? I mean, there's so many new features, right? I mean, we have all this new stuff. We've waited all this time. I mean, there ought to be some new stuff, right? And you are correct, because we have a bunch of new sliders that I get to play with, and I am so happy to play with these sliders. What do we got here? Okay, let's go with tool size first. So I assume this changes the size of the effect of the tools. Right now I'm on the move tool, and I will demonstrate how this tool works to you right now. All right, so we sort of pick it up like this, and then the ship, shoots up into the air and go back down. And this tool is actually way more powerful and way more useful than it used to be in the game. So now let's try to turn the size slider up and see what happens. So now I pick up the So now I pick up the ship, and the whole thing splits into multiple pieces, as it is controlled by magical non-Newtonian forces. Yes, non-conservative forces. Oh my god. Yeah, it's... I'm not even doing anything to it right now, and I swear it's accelerating in the sky. What? What is happening? What? Holy crap. Okay, that just sliced through itself, and it is like in another dimension right now. I mean, some of the other objects are following physics. Never mind, actually, like, none of them appear to be following physics. There is no way that thing is being accelerated. I mean, these are going into the atmosphere. Holy crap. Okay, can we slow it down? Let's slow it down. Come on, calm down. Calm down, you. Oh, we're ripping it in half now. Well, at least there is some vision of force in this game. Let's see, can we get it to kind of hover? I think it's sort of hovering there. Nah, it's falling finally. Wow. What? What is happening? Okay, yeah. As you can see, some of the forces are a little bit, in progress right now. It's only like version 2.02, so, bear with Fred. I mean, he's doing his best. He is doing his best as a developer to try and make everything under control a little bit more. I have to spawn in another ship right now just to make up for what just happened there. I mean, the thing just obliterated the whole ship. Okay, let me spawn the Unsinkable 2 again. I'm just going to spawn in the Unsinkable because I love this boat, and it's like the best thing that I think I ever made, so... I'm just going to stick with it, I'm going to roll with it, and I'm going to continue on with it for a while longer. Sinking Simulator 2, everybody. Available on a GameJolt.com. I think that's the new site we're using now. IndieDB, we stopped using that because I think Fred just really liked GameJolt better. So, yeah. You can also follow Sinking Simulator on Twitter, too. And I don't even run that account. I mean, it's like the first one of like 30 Twitters that I haven't created and post to like once a year. So yeah. Oh, you can also follow me on Twitter too. Look at the description. Anyway, enough self-advertising. It's my 50,000 subscriber special, guys. I mean, come on. This is supposed to be about you guys. It's supposed to be about what you want, and it's supposed to be about the future of the YouTube channel. Yes, we're going to build beautiful stores out of white brick and sell very shoddy hamburgers. Okay. Let's turn down the tool size and get it to something more reasonable so that when we move our move tool, it isn't so crazy. We have the pierce tool, and I mean, let's see if tool size affects the pierce tool, because this could lead to some really good effects. So here's regular piercing. Yep. I've actually, I've talked to Fred about this. I'm not entirely convinced on these very solid holes that it makes. I kind of like the, kind of puncture-y look, kind of, it sort of fades into the ship, but this is good too. Makes it look like very stiff gelatin, and stiff gelatin is always something that people enjoy. Okay, let's turn up the tool size and see if we can get a humongous effect. Oh yeah, we can just take gigantic holes out of the ship. And you don't even have to click on the ship for the tool to take effect. You can click anywhere, and it will destroy little bits and pieces of the ship, which is really nice. It's fantastic, because you would not believe how many games do not think about stuff like that. So good job, Fred. Good job. We'll give you a little bit of credit on that. However, some of the sinking going on right now is a little bit iffy. Flood speed? I think I just have flood speed done really low. No, I don't think I changed it. Maybe buoyancy's a bit high? I mean, buoyancy's on literally the lowest. What was that? Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Good lord, guys. Where did it go? What happened there? Like, it was like there 1 second, and then the next thing I know, it flew off into space. It's in orbit. It's going wherever it's going right now, but it is not here anymore. Oh my gosh. Okay, note to self. Buoyancy is now immediate self-destruct and transport into the fourth dimension. I mean, this thing is crossing. It's like going through like wormholes and stuff. Oh, good lord. Okay, maybe when I said there was a few bugs in this game, I actually meant there was a ton of bugs in this game. Let's hope that version 3 is a little bit more stable. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be though. Okay, let's spawn in the Unsinkable 2 again. I think I have buoyancy down to a reasonable level. Does just changing it a little bit do that, or is it putting up to a lot? I think it's putting it up to a lot that does that. Oh my gosh. It jumped to warp speed. Look at, can you look at it? You can't even look at it. It's gone. It's just like, it's there 1 second, and then it just jumps to warp and disappears. And it's so weird too, because it rips off like a part of the ship that I can't even really see. Wow. I mean, that is really cool, actually. That kind of works if you need like a random rip the ship in half button. I mean, that's basically what you need to be using. Okay, let's destroy this and spawn it in one more time. I promise I'll get through all these things. And I'll show off some of the base ships. Come on, guys. All right, work with me. Work with me here. There's now a flow, which if you have on a low tool size like this, it will very slowly put in a little bit of water. I'm actually getting some Windows loading screens right now, which is creeping me out. So I'm done to pester Windows, but there we go. See, we got stuff like a flood tool where if we click multiple times, it kind of fills it up with water a little bit. For some reason, that's actually clearing out the water. That doesn't make sense, but you guys get how the tool works. So turn up the tool and see if we can like pretty much just flood. Yeah, there we go. We can flood very large portions of the ship at once. So if, say we want to, kind of waterlog the funnels. Ooh, what is happening here? That is some very strange behavior on behalf of those ropes. Yeah, they're just kind of going crazy. Apparently, they don't like water at all. Oh, I think I'm weighing the ropes down because I can put water in the ropes. I didn't even know ropes could hold water in this game. That's interesting. Yeah, see, look, they hold water. Wow. Well, I learn something every day. Look at that. And then we can pretty much, I think we can sink the whole thing. I have this cool macro double-click button on my mouse, so if I kind of just, hold that down, it kind of just does it. So that's really awesome, actually. All right, that's a cool thing. And then we also have drain. If you want to fix those problems up like that, there we go. We've drained that now. And that can be changed with the tool size stuff. And I think that's all we have besides delete and then spawn. Oh crap! I have the legacy button clicked. I don't actually know what the legacy button does, to be honest with you guys. No one told me what the legacy button did. Like, Fred did not explain that at all. I didn't even know it existed until I loaded up this version. I was like, whoa, there's a legacy button, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So I'm just gonna not touch it, and yeah, I'm just gonna turn it back off. There we go. It's off. All right, shouldn't do anything. Shouldn't harm anyone. Okay, now let's play with the sliders. I guess I need to spawn this in because I've kind of destroyed it. Okay, spawn, and there we go. Okay, very buoyant. Very particularly buoyant for no apparent reason at all. Okay. Now that we've got that done, okay, now what do we have? We have wave width. Now I assume this is sort of wavelength. There we go. I think a lot of the waves in this game are actually controlled by a lot of like physics functions, because this is definitely sort of calculus going on here with the way that these waves are calculated. It's going to be like a cosine function or something. Okay, so the wavelength, so we can turn that down. We've got weight. There we go, which I think I could all figure this out a long time with a kidder, but it's really cool the way that all the water and stuff work. You could probably get Fred to explain that to you at some point, but yeah, just changing like the wavelength, the amplitude, and it's really awesome. So yeah, this is pretty much the most intense waves that we can possibly create, max wave width and max wave height. I think there's actually like a program you can use where you can manually edit these values and like turn them up like way higher than they're ever supposed to go. And probably if you just turn these sliders up and down enough, the game just like freaks out. But yeah, you guys can play with that on your own time. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic. Wave height max, yeah. And then you can just have perfectly flat C and be born like that, or you can be mean. Exciting C. Look at that. Very exciting. Okay, water weight. So this weight, okay, and it just causes the ship to bust apart. Ooh, it's got like little ribbons everywhere. You can sort of see the direction in which it went, but it sort of like disappears after this point. It just completely vaporizes into the atmosphere. This time it took out much more of the ship. So apparently like changing some of the sliders like changes the physics so much that it just rips the ships to shreds. It just completely obliterates them without any sort of reasoning whatsoever. Okay, let's delete that and spawn it again. There we go. Spawn it a little bit higher this time. So let's actually try to put some water in the ship before we do that one to see if we can get like a humongous effect off of it or not. Okay, so we've got that. So now we can affect water weight. So it's at the lowest right now, but we can turn it up. And we can see the water is pulling the ship down. There we go. We've turned the water weight back up. Okay, and now we're turning it down again. So now the ship is sinking. It's sinking faster. It's getting pretty heavy. I'm getting some weird effects on part of the ship. It's really bending in now. Okay, it's bending in. Okay, and oh, it's starting to rip in half. It's so heavy. Yeah, that is some pretty heavy water there. Okay, the ropes have snapped. The ship is now starting to fold in on itself. The water weight is so heavy, and okay, we're going up with it. Now the ship has sort of begun to accelerate quite fast towards the ground. All right, and the whole thing explodes. It's like a balloon. You can blow it up a little bit more, and then pop. The whole thing is just gone. It just explodes into nothingness. I will say one improvement with the new spawn feature in this game is that, I mean, when I zoom out like that and I move around, like I move like hundreds of miles across the screen, and so you can never find a ship you've spawned in before. But with this new spawn tool, I think it's cool because you can just select the thing and then you can just spawn it in wherever you feel like it. Actually, that's if you can figure out where the delete button is. Oh, actually, no, I think you just I need to turn the water weight back down. That's all I can say. Okay, no, delete and then. So yeah, I guess you could just click delete anywhere and it deletes the ship, which is nice. That could be bound to like a button on the keyboard. That would be cool. That'd be awesome. But I will say, guys, the one thing that I have asked for years and years and years and years and on and on and on that we've seen partially be attempted by like 3 different people has finally been implemented and implemented well into the game. And the only way to demonstrate it is by doing a good old sync. It's by basically going to Pierce, and it's by not having your tool size set to max and just puncturing a hole on the ship. Maybe the Unsinkable isn't the best example of this because it was a little bit of a downer ship to begin with. So we'll just see what happens here. Oh man, what do I even talk about? 50,000 subscriber special. I recorded the Age of Empires one that we're doing for day 4 earlier today, and I actually called it day 2. Yeah, because I was so inept of looking at my spreadsheet that I did not realize that it was scheduled on day 4. And so I completely thought that it was supposed to be recorded tomorrow. So I was like, bro, okay, you gotta send me these files. You gotta send me these like tonight. I gotta get this thing done and like ready to go for tomorrow. And he's like, okay, I don't know why you're getting on this so quickly. And then like today, he's like, so you got Sinking Sim 2 ready, right? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? No, I got Sinking Sim 2 ready. I'm like, that's like day 3, right? No, it's day 2. It's day 2. So I thought that was really crazy. And so here we are. I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't gonna record it. I mean, I was planning on recording it tonight. I think before I had realized that it was on day 2, I was still planning on recording it tonight for some reason. I mean, that's the way my schedule works. It's just been so like just insane recently that I'm finally gonna turn down the water weight because like buoyancy is like the most insane control in this game. It's either you have a lot of buoyancy or your ship explodes. So yeah, there we go. Now it's finally sinking. And as you'll probably begin to notice as the ship begins to fill with a little bit more water, this is very uncharacteristic of how the game functioned back in Sinking Simulator version 1. Because as you'll remember back then, what would happen is that when the front of the ship filled with water, it would bend over into the water, and it would sort of just, it would kind of just like slowly sink in the front at like this weird like jelly-like pace. And sort of, it didn't look realistic, but as you'll see right now, we're seeing something a little bit different from that. Because instead of like the whole front of the ship curving off from the rest of the ship, I could get out like a protractor or a straight edge, and I could actually tell you that the angle here isn't actually all that great. It's only like, that's 100 and I think what, like 180 some degrees there. Yeah, like 85, 80, probably like 188 degrees. And that's a lot better than it used to be. We'll put it that way. It used to be like 90 degrees. Yeah, it was crazy. Well, it depends on the way you're measuring it because like blah 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 175. Yeah, you know, people with protractors probably talk like that. So yeah, get out a protractor, measure your screen right now. I'll leave it flat like this for you. All right, you can just pause the video. Actually, I just realized that and protractor it yourself. But yeah, there has been rigidity. Rigidity has been added to this game, and a lot like the McRib, it actually works. So we can just sort of puncture holes all over the ship, and it can fill with water, and we won't have any problems with that. And you know what? Rigidity even comes with its own slider, so we can turn the rigidity down, and we can play a lot like Sinking Sim 1. Getting any familiar feelings right now? Any familiar feelings of the back of the ship being straight while the front is gelatin? Does this feel like the sinking simulator that you're used to playing? If you answered yes, then you are probably not playing Sinking Sim 2. But this might be the game for you guys. I mean, if you can play with both Sinking Sim 1 settings and Sinking Sim 2 rigidity levels, you are in for some good business. Just don't change to the rigidity slider too fast, or otherwise your ships will just tear themselves apart because they cannot handle like where they're supposed to be moving. The force is just too great to back in line with the ship, so it'll just basically rip apart into a million pieces. But if you do it nice and slow enough, you'll get something like this, where you actually get like a semi-realistic Titanic explosion. Whoa, the Titanic did not explode. Maybe I'm bringing some new theories here. I mean, maybe UFOs came and, you know, attacked the Titanic like they did in Independence Day. Yeah, that was a real-life event, Independence Day, by the way. That actually happened. I mean, they tried to exclude it from history books happening. I think that was the 1970s, but it actually did happen, and that's sort of why there's that little break in history around that time period. So yeah, make sure you go look that up. Look that up on Wikipedia. It's a real thing. And so anyway, you can get a lot of the real breakages like that. As you'll see, though, I mean, it's a lot of flat lines going on here. As I said earlier in the video, I am not a humongous fan of not seeing like much destruction in this. I mean, sure, it's cool in the idea that, you know, it's like actually ripped apart and it like did it so with good rigidity and there was actually like forces and it was balanced properly. But like, Fred, come on, man. We want to see like explosions. We want to see people dying. We want to see like crates falling out and like stuff ripping to shreds. We want to see like some awesome tearing animation. Just, yeah, something really cool like that. So, you know, and I have no idea what is happening with these ropes. I just looked at this and realized that it looks ridiculous. What are they connected to? I mean, do they think they're still connected up here? I mean, they can't be, right? So what are they doing? They just have a mind of their own sometimes. There we go. If we release them for some reason, they begin to still act like weird non-fluid objects. Like it's really bizarre how some of the objects in this game are like follow Newtonian physics and then some of them don't. Like these ropes, I have no idea what's happening like most of the time with them. Like, wow, that is actually really cool looking, but okay, yeah, I'm getting really excited about the way these ships look. Here, let me expand the seafloor a little bit. Seafloor height. Oh gosh. Had to remember which way the slider went to lower it, and I chose correct. Almost blown the ship out of the water there. Ooh, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's a metaphor that worked for once. Okay, and then actually I barely even have the rigidity slider up. It's still on like a quarter, but I'm pretty sure if you put it too high, the ship explodes, sort of like it did before. But yeah, I mean, look at how rigid that is. Like, the most rigid thing I have ever seen in my life. It's beautifully, beautifully, beautifully rigid. And it is something that we've asked for and something that we have demanded for a very, very, very long time. And it's just so delightful to have. Thank you, Fred. Thank you for all the beautiful stuff you've done. And if you guys want to thank me, you can also do that as well. I mean, I also slightly had part to do with this. It's my 50,000 subscribers special. I mean, Fred did originally watch my video, and in order to get the development of the game, just saying. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not trying to sell you on the concept that like I am like somehow like the sinking simulator god, but I love this game. I mean, it's good. I mean, Sinking Simulator 2 is, in my personal opinion, better than the original one. And I am really interested. I mean, as soon as they add, like, fire and explosions, this game goes from just being, like, a sandbox to being, like, an amazing sandbox. Because think of all of the things you can do with explosives in this game. You can launch stuff out of the water. You can blow stuff up. You can, like, make some weird physics experiments and where, like, this game will completely violate every law of physics for no reason other than that's pretty much just the way the game is designed, with not actual physics calculations. So yeah, you guys are going to have a ton of fun with this. Here, let me turn up water weight. So yeah, there's a little bit more forceful now. And yeah, we can finally watch the Titanic go under the water. There we go, for the last time. Actually, this isn't even the Titanic. This is the USS Unsinkable 2. If I wanted to do the Titanic, I could have shown you that. There we go. Let's delete and respawn in some of the ships. So yeah, now that we've got all the tools done, besides the drag one, I have no idea what the drag tool does. I'll spawn in something else. So here's base 2. This is something I showed off in a prior video that was added into this game. Here's a cargo ship. I don't remember what this is from exactly. Small cargo ship. The Titanic. I think this is like an original. I don't think this is the original, actually. This looks like it's been redone a little bit. Yacht. I mean, that is... Come on, guys. That is classic yacht right there. I mean, everyone's yacht pretty much looks like that. We've got... you can only spawn one thing at a time now, too. For some reason, that was changed. Weird. We got this thing. That's like a cargo thing. Here, let's turn up drag and see what's... noticing difference in drag? Is that drag in water? Or... I mean, what exactly does that mean? Let me turn it down and try to move it, and then... No, I have no idea what drag does. Could not tell you. Well, I can tell you when you use the move tool now. It sort of creates this massive sucking force. But yeah, let's try to slam it into the water now. Bam. Ooh, it's a little bit like gelatin. That's right, just remembered that. Yeah, buoyancy is incredibly strong for some reason. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let me delete that. We've got Ball of Steel. Oop, gotta go back to spawn. Ball of Steel, which is just a ball of Carpathia, which is beautiful, beautiful Carpathia. We've got Gigantic, and we've got Iron Ball. We've got Longer. Wait, what? No. Yeah, this is Longer. This is basically the early version of the Unsinkable 2. Lusitania, sort of like a stock version. Mauritania. Oh, that's the Ging color palette. Look at that. Oh, and it exploded. Wow. There we go. Real Titanic. There we go. It's just a real version of Titanic. Britannic ship. Wait, what? This was an earlier one. This was small cargo? Cargo. Yeah, this is called cargo. Wait, hold on. Let me go to ship. No, they're different. Never mind. They look very similar, but they're actually... Oh, my gosh, all these ships look the same. Okay, ship 4. There we go. Ooh, that one's cool. I like that one. It's a very interesting boat design. But yeah, then we've got just all of kind of the regular one. We've got the Titanic 2, Titanic 3, Bismarck, and Sinkable. Does the Bismarck work now? I've always wondered... Oh, the Bismarck always has worked. It was the other one. The Fletcher. Yeah, the Fletcher was the one that didn't work. Yeah, but this is my my version of the Bismarck that no one understood. So, yeah. Good job, guys. All right, if I turn rigidity up, this deck actually slightly works, too. I mean, look at that, guys. It's impressive. I never thought that would ever work under any circumstances whatsoever. Let's pierce it. So, Yeah, well, I've completely destroyed that. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a fun time, and if you didn't see your ships here today, that's because I'm not actually sure you can add ships to this version of the game right now, but I believe that is a future feature that is going to be added, and it's going to be fantastic for all of you guys, and I cannot wait to have that personally added myself to review ships in this game that actually runs at, like, a decent frame rate. Like, seriously, guys, this is running at, like, 400 frames per second. Actually, no, like, 150 frames per second right now. You would not believe how terribly this game used to run, like 10 frames per second. This is fantastic compared to that, and it's something that I just love seeing done. All right, let me just puncture all of these. There we go. Goodbye, Bismarck. Goodbye, small ship. Sometimes the rigidity gets a little bit funky, but I guess that's perfectly normal. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Sinking Simulator 2, do not wait for... Actually, you kind of do have to wait to actually watch the one that's happening on Day 7, where I'm going to do Sinking Simulator 1, where I'm going to show you all of your user-created ships in the original game, which I will always try to get created into the Sinking Simulator 2 game. However, I'm not actually sure how that's going to get done. So, yeah, just basically contact the developer and say, hey, Fred, make this feature for us now. And, be nice about it. Fred doesn't like when you go up and assault him every day. It's not very polite. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.